Hey everybody, happy National Women's Pharmacist Day. I have one of my favorite female pharmacists that I'm so privileged to call a friend and sister from California, Dr. Rajinder Rai. And really exciting news to announce on the RPhAlly platform. Rajinder has joined us and is the leader of our Women's Health channel and has some just incredible background to be able to share with you and her experience as a woman and what she really wants to bring out in the channel. So I'll kick it over to you, Rajinder, just to tell me a little bit more about like why you found that passion to really help out women in pharmacy.
Thank you, Kevin, and good morning and happy Women Pharmacist Day to everyone out there. Yeah, well, I am a woman in pharmacy. So, being in pharmacy for almost like 3 decades, I've seen, the ups and downs of being a mom, running a business, and trying to really find that work-life balance, which we all know there is no such thing as balance. And in our profession, men and women, I feel like, we are that undervalued healthcare provider. And a lot of times, a lot of our burnout and our own self-image comes from what we do as, professionally. And so I think women especially have found, with COVID, trying to juggle everything that we're doing, you're at a position where you're burnt out. And I wanted to create a space for women to really um, support each other, find community, as well as get the tips of putting themselves first, so that we can
Oh,
not only be better health professionals, but also better individually as well. I mean, over 60% of pharmacists are women, and the average age of pharmacists is about 40. So that puts women right there in midlife, dealing with what our profession is kind of going through. And we really don't have the support because we're always putting everyone else first besides ourselves. And so I think it's really important to have a space that's dedicated specifically for women in the pharmacy profession to kind of share and support each other.
I think that's fantastic. And you said share and support each other at the end, so I'll kind of piggyback off of that. You and I had conversations previously about like the resiliency of women. Lots of women. I mean, the thought leaders that are joining our group, Virginia, it is 90% of the individuals that are the leaders in our PHLI are women. And I'm not surprised. Like most of the women that I've had as leaders have been my favorite to work for, to work with, to collaborate with, because I think that resiliency is just something that's very evident, in them. But you told me that that is a positive and it is a real blessing that women have, but it also can be a problem for them, especially when they don't do a few things. And I love the phrase that you've used, to pause, like in their life, to give them a little bit of space. Can you talk a little bit more about how that resiliency can be problematic and how the support and collaboration and camaraderie amongst women can really help with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think women have found a way of just getting things done, and sometimes we go on to autopilot, and we subconsciously don't realize some of the things that we may be disconnecting from, individually, even from our families, even from our profession. To be honest, you go in, you know what you need to do, you just go, check, 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 and don't realize that the day-to-day actions that we're doing, we're disconnecting from ourselves, almost like microaggressions in a way, when you're
Wow.
having to deal with all of the things, as pharmacists, that we go through. But this space, like you mentioned, my program that I've created for my own wellness company is Pause, and I want to bring that into this channel as well too, because regardless of what women want to do, whether it's they want to stay in their current position or move up or change or start their own businesses, you need time to really regroup and kind of reconnect with what is important to you. All of For myself, it's always been about doing what's right for other people, doing what's right for pharmacy, doing what's right for my business. And I came to a point in my life where I had to realize that I need to understand what Rajinder wants and what's important for Rajinder. And I needed to cultivate a relationship with myself to understand that. And without giving myself that space or that pause to start, understanding who I was, I can't be that version of myself, that authentic version of myself to create these different programs or go out there and, um, you know, be that pharmacist or that coach or, you whatever it is that you feel like doing with your profession. I mean, our profession is just one aspect of our wellness, our
So
financial
true.
well-being. You need everything else from your physical health, mental health to your spiritual health. And really that's what I want to bring into this channel is to holistically help you kind of nurture your not just your profession, but also your spiritual, mental, and physical health. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done a lot of trainings and my own self-discovery and self-realization, but I have a lot, also through that, I've met a lot of great people that I want to come in, bring in, so that the women in our channel will also benefit from that, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to be open to receive information and guidance. And sometimes I think as pharmacists, we're that go-to person to have all the answers, and we think that maybe there's something wrong if we don't have all the answers ourselves, or we're expected to have the answers.
Right.
And I think that's where, again, I really want it to be that, what, it's okay if you don't know. That's what we're here for. And we're here to find out create a solution together. And it
Yes.
will help holistically the profession move forward into the direction that we want, because we will find ways of showing up better, being more visible, being more vocal. I think my experience on LinkedIn, I never used it. I've been in profession of pharmacy for 3 decades. I feel more comfortable sharing and being more transparent because I found my authentic voice. And I
Yes.
think as more pharmacists, women in pharmacy start doing that, they will bring that value to our profession. And then it will, be that domino effect of where other professions, other industries see what pharmacists are really capable of doing and kind of elevate our profession. I think, you and I have talked about it quite a bit that, the profession is fragmented overall based on maybe the industry that you're specifically in, and one industry thinks that what they're doing over there doesn't matter, and what we're doing over here doesn't matter. We're not connected, but
Yep.
we are connected. And I think having a space that like with RPhAlly is creating is going to create that umbrella, so that there is a space where pharmacists can all go in and find the support that they need, as well as advancements in the profession.
Here's one thing that I will make fun of for a second. I think you always look like my younger sister, but sharing with the audience, you had a very special birthday here recently.
Oh my goodness.
And so turning 50 is just amazing. Like I can't believe that. Like looking across the screen, I'm like, that's 50 looks great, Rajinder. But
Oh, thank you.
saying that, you've went through several life phases that you and I have talked about. You have beautiful children that are a big part of your life, and you and I both share a kindred spirit and like how much family matters to
Mhm.
us. And the one thing that I think is really interesting, you mentioned like some of the cross functionality of having retail, ambulatory, hospital, non, traditional track individuals coming together, women coming together and being able to collaborate and find ways to tie, things together. I think it's fantastic. The other piece that I'd love to hear from you a little bit is kind of the multi-generational thought process. Because for me, like I've always valued getting together with those younger and older than me because the perspectives are so much different. And not that one is right or one is wrong. They're just different. And if you come in with an open, mindset, I feel like there can be a ton of benefit. But I would love to hear from your perspective, like how you envision just the melting pot, evolving inside of your channel.
Yeah, it's a great question. I've always been fortunate, on a personal level, to have friendships with women that are older than me as well as younger than me. And I feel like the wisdom that I get from the women that are older than me is priceless. And then I get to also pay it forward when then I'm sharing my experience with those women that are younger than me. Professionally, I've always had managers that were women pharmacists from
Yeah.
from the time that I was an intern. So I have
Wow.
seen these women um, in like leadership roles from a very early stage in my professional career. So I think I don't know any better as far as like, women were the ones that were in charge of all of the pharmacies that I've worked at, whether they were the district managers to, my own managers, and I trained very closely under them. Um, I also am like a preceptor for several pharmacy schools. And so I really enjoy having pharmacy students come in because it keeps me updated to what's the latest and greatest in pharmacy. But then I get to also have the opportunity to mold them a little bit and share my experience and kind of knock some of the things that they're learning in pharmacy school out of them. Just joking. But bringing them into the reality of pharmacy, we all, when we come out of pharmacy school, we have like big eyes and we think we're going to change the world instantly. But I'm also biased to community pharmacy, having my own pharmacies. I really still, in my heart of hearts, feel that that is the hub of healthcare. Where if we as pharmacists started to connect from all of our different industries, that community pharmacy can be that triage center. And a lot of women own their own pharmacies. And so having that connection of other pharmacists, pharmacy professionals, whether, like you said, they're in AmCare or in hospital, or even as medical liaisons or pharmacogenomics, functional medicine, list goes on and on. If you're connected, you have that strong network of pharmacists, and you know that, okay, I can't do this, but I can refer you to this amazing pharmacist to take care of you. And I think once we start feeling comfortable and build that trust amongst ourselves, then we're able to share that with our clients and patients and so forth. And I think that's one of the biggest things of having this generational relationship. It's almost, even professionally and outside of the profession, is to create that bond,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
trust, because then we're in it together. It's not that, you feel alone and that, this profession is spiraling downward and all of the negativity that, we see that, we're the next blockbuster or whatever, people may think. But I think that once you cultivate relationships and you build your own self-confidence and you yourself start to feel confident and valued in what you do, you will resonate that in what you say and how you show up, and people will automatically see that. And I think that's what's really been missing, and I'm really excited about, having this opportunity that you and Shauna are giving me. I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be, a completely safe place for women in pharmacy to come in, to learn, to share, and to cultivate relationships. Because, you and I have talked many times that for me, the biggest asset that I feel that I've learned and cultivated over my profession is relationship building. And I think that is why you and I connect you know, so deeply and connected so quickly, was that, everything is authentic. When we talk, our conversations can get very personal and deep, but at the same time, it's professional. And I know that, what I share in that space is, I can be vulnerable.
Yeah. No, that is beautiful. It makes me slightly emotional, but I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your words and kind of what you're creating inside of the space for, the profession of pharmacy needs brilliant women to gather together of all kind of stages, and I think the blockbuster, commentary that's out there, I don't worry about it when we have all of these incredible women coming together and working together to benefit the future of our profession, and I think that's a real incredible piece about the channel that you're putting together. And the other piece that you highlighted so well is that, all the professional things matter. Like that's why we have a women's channel in a pharmacy platform. But at the same time, like as you mentioned, it's only part of your life. So all of the other stages and components of life of being a better mom, being a better daughter, being a better sister, and a business owner, like all of those things are partner. it's just so helpful to have other individuals that are going through it, struggling with the individual pieces, and then having someone to turn to. So I'm so thankful that they get to turn to you and to other colleagues that join you. And you get to build each other up, and really excited for this channel to storm up. So to join Rajinder and all the incredible things that she's doing on the Women's Health channel, go to rphally.com and click the join button. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Rajinder.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.